morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. We are going to get started. Thank you very much again for attending. This is our third session of the Supplier Opportunities information sessions for Cape Breton businesses. This session is navigating the e-bidding system. Thank you very much for coming. We're glad that you took the time today on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Before we get started, I'd like to just go over a little bit of a technical brief with you, just to mention a little bit about the system we're using today. So we're going to be using the Zoom webinar system, which will allow us to be seen and heard, but not you. So you don't have to worry about getting up and stretching or having any coffee or anything like that. We can't see you, so we won't have to worry if you need to sneeze or cough or anything at all. It'll be totally anonymous. If you have any questions, please let us know by, and I'm going to put up a slide here. You can either ask in the Q&A button on your screen where you can type in your question. You can also type it in the chat and we'll see it there. You can also click the raise your hand button and that'll let me know that you would like to ask a question and we'll be able to enable you to ask that out loud. Please ask your questions at any point during today's presentation and session. We'll try to get to them a little bit earlier if we can, whenever there's a short break in the presentation. And if not, we'll make sure that we have the questions at the end of the session as well. If you have any technical issues or there's anything at all that you'd like to bring up or you can't hear us, please mention it in the chat and I'll try to help as we go. And I think that about covers it. As many of you are aware, there is an unprecedented investment happening in Cape Breton in public infrastructure projects that are ongoing now and going to be starting shortly for some as well. And there are a lot of opportunities that are going to be available to local businesses, both on these projects here in Cape Breton as well as across the province on other projects. So today's session, navigating the e-bidding system, will speak to that directly and give you a lot of opportunity to know more about how to get involved in these projects and the tendering process with procurement. Our presenter is Beth Hartling, and you can see, thank you, hi Beth, and you can see today's agenda on your screen. So I'm going to stop my presentation and I'm going to hand it over to Beth. Still there.
I'm unmuted now. Thanks very much, Jeremy. I'm gonna start to share my screens. Okay, let's begin. So welcome to this webinar, Navigating the Nova Scotia Electronic Bidding System. And as Jeremy said before, my name is Beth Hartling and I work with procurement with the supplier engagement team. So before we begin, the slides that I'm going to be talking about, you're going to see a blue box towards the bottom with white text, and that is that's going to provide some information about the images that we see on each of the screens. There's going to be a lot of screenshots because I want to be able to provide a step-by-step guide for everybody. I always like to begin with this slide about support. So this webinar is only going to be about how to navigate in the province's e-bidding tool. And I'm going to explain what that is as we go. If a supplier requires more assistance when navigating within the e-bidding system, they can also use this link here, which is to our support page. You can type in your question in that support page, and there's always people monitoring that page, and they can access some information for you or get you a contact that can help you with your questions. For content-related questions or clarification about a tender that you're interested in, each of the tenders have a compose message function inside of them, and I'm going to explain how to use that. And that needs to be used for any kind of questions about any of the opportunities that we have. And for technical issues such as a browser issue, you can contact the Ariba customer service folks at that phone number at the bottom. Okay, so the agenda for this session today is going to include a bit about finding opportunities. If anybody was at the previous session, we did talk more about this. I'm just going to give a quick intro again, just to refresh everyone. What is e-bidding? Then we're going to talk about how to register to the platform that we use, which is ariba.discovery.com. And then we're going to review the event or the electronic tender. And I'm going to go through an event and provide some step-by-step instructions. So first we'll begin with who are we? Procurement. So procurement is a division under the Department of Nova Scotia Internal Services. We're a government entity, so we're bound by specific acts, trade agreements, and business ethics, and these are used to formulate the Nova Scotia Sustainable Procurement Policy. Our main role is to facilitate the high-value purchasing process for the province. So, for example, Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal, or TIR, is a client department, and when TIR has a high-value construction requirement, they would work with procurement, and we would administer the purchasing process. So what is high value? That is when we have goods, services, and construction at values that are above these amounts. So high value purchasing requirements are publicly tendered. For example, TIR has to build a school. They would determine the specifications, but we would be responsible for ensuring the specifications are in the proper document templates, that spending approvals are in place, and before we would post and facilitate a public tender. So what is a public tender? And that's when high value goods, services, and construction opportunities are posted on our tenders website. And that's a link there to our main page. So tenders are available for the public to view and to bid on. So here's the screenshot of our homepage. If you select current tenders to the right, that will take you to the tender notices page, and a listing of all the current tenders are available towards the bottom. You can see there's filter by fields there that you could use to help you narrow down your search. I've typed in construction under the description section of this filter by field. And then when I press enter, you can see that there are construction tenders listed towards the bottom. They always, this screen always shows the most recent tender postings listed first. There are many other public sector entities that also post their opportunities on this site. So Nova Scotia Procurement uses the electronic bidding system, and that system is called EBidding. So the EBidding platform the province uses we use this platform for our tender opportunities. It's important for suppliers to understand this because in order to access the specifications and to access the tender documents, suppliers must be registered with EBidding, and you can do that by going to discovery.ebidding.com. And you have to be registered with EBidding to be able to log into each of the events, to view the tenders, and to participate and submit a bid for these opportunities. So it's a good idea if you're interested in any of the opportunities that we're going to be posting to register with EBidding Discovery. Okay, so the province facilitates the tendering processes for our departments, agencies, boards, and commissions, and 2 health authorities. All of these entities, all the opportunities, the high value opportunities, go through the EBidding system when we tender any opportunities. And another thing I like to mention is that we have a centralized tender posting page. So all public sector entities in Nova Scotia must post their high value tender opportunities on our website. For example, Cape Breton Regional Municipality is a public sector entity. They have to post their high value opportunities on this website. I do want to note that the outside public sector entities do not use the Nova Scotia EBidding platform. They may have their own EBidding platform, but they wouldn't use our EBidding platform. So the other public sector entities we're talking about, they include the MAS entities, which are municipalities and towns, which there are 54 of in Nova Scotia, academic institutions, 14 in Nova Scotia, and 7 regional centers for education, or approximately 440 schools. So MAS must post their high value tenders on our website. However, they would facilitate their own tendering processes. So our website is the go-to place to find these opportunities. Well, I also want to note here that the federal government offices in Nova Scotia do not post their opportunities on our website. They would post their opportunities on the federal government procurement website. Okay, so also within our website, you can find some other links that may be of interest to you. We have a supplier training and events link there, and we do have more information sessions like this. This year, we will be providing more virtual information sessions and posting those on the within that link there. You can also scroll towards the bottom and see the bottom left, there's the support link, and that's where you can find the ticketing system to our support form. I believe this link may have also moved to the upper right of this page as well, but you can find the support link within the home page of our website. You can also see towards the right on our page in that menu list that there is the Tender Opportunity Notification Service. This is a free service for suppliers. If you register to Tender Opportunity Notification Service, or TONS, you would receive email notifications of public sector or procurement opportunities matching the goods and or services categories you've selected when registering. So each time we post a tender, you would be notified of that opportunity by email. TONS notifications are sent out for all tenders posted on the Nova Scotia Procurement web portal. This includes all provincial tenders and those mass entities, so the other entities that use our website as well, that are outside of the province, or that are within Nova Scotia, but outside, they facilitate their own procurement process. Okay, so here's a little diagram to kind of explain how, that gives you a visual of the process. So Province of Nova Scotia has a high value purchasing requirement. For example, TIR construction project valued over $100,000. All high value tenders are posted on the Nova Scotia Procurement website. For example, TIR works with Nova Scotia Procurement, who's responsible to post a tender on the Nova Scotia Procurement website. That would trigger a TONS notification. So an email would go out, and within that email, there would be a link to the individual tender opportunities. You click that link, it'll take you to the Nova Scotia website, the posting on our website. And within that posting is a link that'll take you to SAP Ariba. So suppliers must be registered with discovery.ariba.com to view the tenders and to participate in the bidding process. The difference between the province and those other mass entities that post their opportunities on our website is as follows. So a public sector entity in Nova Scotia has a high value purchasing requirement, such as the Cape Breton Regional Municipality has a construction project valued over $100,000. All high value tenders are posted on the Nova Scotia Procurement website. For example, Cape Breton Regional Municipality must post this construction opportunity on our website. That triggers a TONS notification. So you get an email if you're registered to TONS. Within the email is a link that'll take folks back to the posting within our website. And that's where it ends for us and the relationship with us and our website in these public sector entities. But within their posting, there'll be documents you can download, or they may direct you to their own e-procurement platform that they use when facilitating their their tendering processes.
Beth, do you mind if we throw in one question that we just received?
Yes, for sure.
Perfect. So our question is from Jason. What is considered high value? Is that 25,000 and above?
So any for the province, any good valued over $10,000, but it may be other public sector entities may have their threshold set at 25,000 for goods, but any service over $50,000 and any construction valued over $100,000. Different public sector entities may have different thresholds, but for the province, it's 10 for goods, 50 for construction, or for services, and 100 for construction projects. We also do post, especially for this Cape Breton project, we're posting opportunities valued at less than that, because they're kind of splitting up some of the trade packages. So there may be, just because there's those thresholds are set. We have to legally post opportunities that are set at those thresholds or more, but it doesn't mean that we wouldn't post lower dollar value thresholds on the website too.
Thank you.
No problem. Thanks. So what is electronic bidding? So electronic bidding is a process for suppliers to submit electronic bids to open and or invitational competitions. The supporting tool acts as a central repository for storing all tendering events and documents. So everything flows into our system, and it acts as a big filing cabinet and holds all of our documents. It's great for auditors to be able to go in and see that we're following appropriate processes, because we store everything into this system. And the EBidding provider is SAP Ariba. They're the procurement technology solution used for the procuring of goods, services, and construction. We've been using these guys since September of 2015. So for all designated EBidding tender event opportunities, proponents will only be able to respond electronically through the SAP Ariba system. How will this impact our supplier community? That means that opportunities are posted electronically. They're going to look different. You have to register to Ariba Discovery. You can only ask questions, and those questions will be responded to through the EBidding system. And I'm going to explain how to do all of these things. And suppliers must submit their bids electronically. So to register, you would go to discovery.ariba.com. And then you'd be taken to a page that looks like this. You'd begin by clicking the I'm selling link to the top left of the home page. That'll take you to this page. Then you would select the yellow register now button. That would take you to a page that looks like this. And then you would fill in your company information. And you want to fill in, you want to ensure all the required fields, those that have an asterisk, are filled out correctly. Here's a note here about a main account. When registering your company, it's important to use a central email account for your company's profile. Additional employee emails can be added to create a double account, but so you'd have to contact Ariba customer service to do that and to add additional employees there. But you want to make sure you have a main account because people may come and go within your company, and you don't want them to take this information with them. You want to be able to have access to this no matter no matter who's come and gone and who has access as far as your staff go. Okay, so once you've completed your company information, click the register button found to the top right of the page. You can complete your company profile at the time you register, or you can choose to update your profile later. You can edit your profile at any time. So there's going to be some extra functions you can fill in here when you're registering. You don't have to do all that right away. You can come back and edit that. If you just want a login account, you can just fill in those sections that have an asterisk, and that'll get you a login account. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes. So reviewing the event. So keep your Ariba login and password information handy. You wanna go to our website that I mentioned before, and then you're gonna click on current tenders. From current tenders, you can use the filter by options, because you're in the tender notices page. You can use the filter by options to narrow your search. And then once you found an opportunity you're interested in, you'd select the DOC number. So we use, when the province puts out a tender, our tender numbers look like this, DOC with 9 number characters. You click onto that, and you'd be taken to that opportunity's tender details page. So high-level information regarding the opportunity is provided on this page. To respond and to access all information on the opportunity, you're going to want to click on this Ariba Discovery link, which is next to the tender docs location. So that'll take you from our website to the Ariba Discovery website. And this is the supplier research posting page in the Ariba Discovery site. So within this page, there's a few things you want to focus on. This platform has some defaults. So we update the following when we post with Ariba. That includes this. So the top is the title of the opportunity. The bottom is the posting summary information. And the most important part of this page is that yellow little respond to posting button. So that to actually log into the opportunity, you've got to click on that yellow respond to posting button, and you'll be prompted to log into the tender details within Ariba. So once you click that, this little login screen will open. You want to enter your Ariba Discovery username and password. The username and password are related to the information you set up when you originally registered. Once you log in, you're going to be taken to the event details page. Okay, so this is what an event looks like, and I'm going to go over all the important functions that you need to know about in the electronic event. Okay, so event is the term used when describing an opportunity or tender in the EBidding system. We're going to review some important functions you'll need to know about events. So you're always going to see the DOC number and the title at the top of the page. The time remaining indicator to the top right represents the days, hours, minutes, and seconds remaining on the current tender opportunity. I like to let people know, because this button is sort of right in your face when you first get into these events. I don't recommend clicking on this download content button, because the content will be downloaded in an Excel format, and it's not going to be formatted in a way that can be viewed easily. Instead, you want to focus on these checklist item menus to the left of the dashboard. So all the menu items to the left, we're going to focus on these right now. So when you're in checklist 1, review event details, you can only review the electronic opportunities sections or event contents. You cannot submit your bid response in this dashboard. So this just allows you to look at the event. Event contents listed below the checklist detail items. These list out the individual sections of the electronic RFX document or tender document. So when you're in event contents, all content, you can see on your screen that all the sections are displayed there, and you scroll down the page to see all the different sections. If you want to view one section at a time, you select the section you want to view. For example, if I click on Event Contents 2, Part 1 Invitational, only this section will be displayed within the body of the event. We'll move back up to the checklist item. So we were looking at number 1, review event details. Now we're moving on to checklist item number 2, which is a review and accept prerequisites. So after you review an event, if you decide you want to participate, or you decide that you want to be updated about when it closes or when it's going to have an addendum or anything like that, you want to complete, and you have to complete this checklist item number 2. So you must accept the prerequisites to receive notifications about the opportunity, to access the composed message options, to access checklist item number 3 submit response, and to be permitted to participate in the opportunity. So to complete this function, you've got to click checklist 2, review and accept prerequisites. That'll take you to this prerequisites page. Okay, so to complete the prerequisites, you've got to select the little button towards the bottom. I accept the terms of this agreement. And then sometimes there's going to be an additional checkbox there. Select that and then select OK. That'll prompt you to select OK a second time. And then you can now see that submit response, checklist item number 3, submit response, is now open. And this, when you're in submit response, it's going to look very similar to review event details, checklist item number 1, but there's going to be new functions that will be important for folks if they want to participate, especially if they want to participate in the event, or especially if they want to see more information about the solicitation document, etc. So this page allows you to perform the functions required to submit your bid. So we're in number 3, submit response. You can see there are additional buttons here. One really important button here is the compose message button. If you have a content related question or need clarification about tender content, you can confidentially correspond directly with the procurement specialist running the event. So events are constantly monitored and responses are provided within a timely manner. Once you select that compose message button, you'll be taken to this screen. And when composing your message, you can revise the subject header, you can attach a file, and you can insert your message. It looks a lot like an email platform. Click send to send the composed message to the province, or you can click cancel to return back to the main event dashboard. You're going to see lots of, we're always used to the back buttons, like the arrows that point back. You want to try to avoid those when you're in the system, because it may kick you out of the system. So look for things like these cancel buttons, which will take you back to this main console. Okay. To review any notifications or messages about an event, you want to click on the event messages link on the main homepage. You can stay up to date and view all changes, additional information, and notifications about the specific event. You click on that link, you'll be taken to this page, the messages page. You can use the compose message button is also found on this page. Once a message has been composed, a record will appear in this page. You can review them, respond to them, reply to them, or download any attachments as necessary. And again, you want to find these kind of buttons here that say click back to console or cancel, and that'll take you back to the main page. Okay, so if you send a message to the province, if you compose a message, it cannot be viewed by other participants that have responded or intend to respond to the opportunity. It is confidential between you and the specialist running the event. If your question prompts a change, if you bring something up that may require a clarification or a change to the event, then an addendum may be issued, and the addendum will not expose that you asked that question, but it may prompt other suppliers or everyone else may need to know the answer to the question that you asked as well. Because we have to be open and fair and transparent, and anything that we share with one supplier, we have to share with all suppliers. Okay, so you can also use this Save Draft button if you've been working on your response and you want to save your work. I recommend you do that periodically if you have been doing some work on your response, because this system kind of will kick you out in about 15 minutes if you don't have any activity happening, and it will kick you out, and then you may lose some of your work. So you want to every once in a while click that Save Draft little button. So if you select Save Draft, this little green box is going to appear, and it will say, your entries have been saved, but have not yet been submitted to the event owner. Continue working on your response and submit it when you are finished. So it's important to know that if you save your work, it only saves it. It's not going to submit any of your work for evaluation. Nothing is submitted yet. Okay, now I'm going to go over, we're going to kind of go over some examples of how to navigate in these individual events. So there's a couple different types of events when we're working in this platform, EBidding platform. So one type is called attach a file. So some events are designed for bid response documents to be uploaded as attachments. These events will have attach a file links available within specific event content sections. Other types of events are going to be fully electronic events, and they are designed to be completely electronic, and they will require bid responses to be typed directly into text boxes that are provided within the event. You're also going to have to scroll through some of those events. They won't have any kind of documents that you can download. You have to read the event. If it's a fully electronic one, you'll have to scroll through the pages to read them, to read each of the specifications. And some events are going to have a combination of both. So an event may ask for a combination of attachments, radial dials, checkboxes, and text boxes, etc. Each event is going to clearly indicate how you must respond. Okay, so first we're going to go over what an attach a file type of event looks like, and we're going to review an older tender that was posted. So important considerations when submitting a bid. It's very important that you read the solicitation documents carefully. You've got to follow the instructions as they are stated in the document. And if you have any questions, you want to use that compose message option. And you've got to use that before the time remaining expires, because once the tender expires, there's nothing else you can do. It's done. So you want to ask your questions in a timely manner. And sometimes an event is going to say that you have until X date to ask questions, and then they won't accept any more questions. So you want to make sure you understand how they've set that up, what the rules are, and so that you don't miss an opportunity to ask a question you might have. So the first step when opening a new event is to review the requirements and specifications. And so you would go to checklist item number 1, and that's going to be opened right away as soon as you log into an event. To access this event's RFP document, you're going to see you're in event details or checklist item number 1, review the event, and you're also going to open up this event's event contents number 2. And you can see when you click on that event contents 2, it's labeled as RFP owner engineer services doc. You're going to see that there's a link within the body of the screen. You click on that link, and you can download the document, and it's going to download in a PDF format. And this is going to be the document of all their specifications. And it's going to include the appendices, such as the submission form. And that would look like this. So this is a screenshot of what a paper submission form can look like in our document templates. This is more for a service type of tender. Construction type tenders have different looking forms. It's important to note that you never want to redesign these forms. Sometimes folks, they don't have the software to be able to type into these sections. And so they'll recreate the form, and you can get disqualified for doing that. It's because these documents are all part of Contract A. They're contractual documents. So you don't want to recreate any of these documents. If you have to, you can print this off, fill it in manually, re-enter or scan it back into your computer, and upload one that you've written into, physically written into. That would be better than recreating the document. But most folks have the software where you're able to type into the individual documents, PDFs. For this event, event contents 3 is labeled Appendix B submission form, and there are instructions that ask for the Appendix B to be uploaded in this section. But because we're still in checklist item number 1, review event, you can't see any of the links that allow you to upload your document. So it only provides instructions that you've got to do that, which can be confusing for folks. Okay, so in event contents 4, proposal submission, the completed proposal submission must be uploaded in this section. So you'll see in the body of this page instructions that the proposal submission must be uploaded in this section. And then in event contents 5, financial proposal, the completed financial proposal submission must be uploaded in this section. Okay, so now that we've reviewed this event and I decided I want to submit a bid response, before I can do this, I have to complete review and accept prerequisites. So that's along the left under checklist item number 2, I have to select that link to review and accept the prerequisites. Then we would complete that function as I mentioned earlier. I showed you how to do that earlier. So once that's completed, this is going to unlock checklist item 3, submit response. So once this is open, you can now see that there are these little attach a file links in each of those event content sections that asked for a part of your bid response to be attached within that section. So you can see that that's a little link. You click on that link, it'll take you to the add attachment page. You select this little choose file button, then you select the document for where you saved it on your computer. You would have filled that document out, maybe saved it on your desktop. You want to make sure you label it really accurately. Then you would choose that from your desktop when you click this little choose file button, then select OK. And then you're going to see that attach a file link has changed. The document, whatever you named your document, is going to show up there in replace of the add attachment file, add attachment link. Okay, so now we're going to look at a fully electronic event. So we've reviewed events that have asked for responses to be submitted by attaching a document. Some events are designed for you to fill in your answers by typing them directly into the spaces provided within the event. So each event is going to clearly indicate how you have to respond. So in this example, you can see that under event contents number 6, there are these little boxes that you have to fill in. So there's questions and then answers that you have to fill in. You have to type them directly into the text boxes provided. Okay, so submitting your response. So once you have completed your bid response and uploaded all the required documents or typed in your responses, you can submit your response by selecting that Submit Entire Response button. Once you select that button, it'll ask you to select OK. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, OK. So all requirements with an asterisk. So submission requirements denoted by an asterisk in the EBidding system are required and must be answered to be able to submit your response. The solicitation document will outline the details for these requirements. It's important to note that it won't tell you if you uploaded a picture of your dog. So you have to make sure that you uploaded the correct documents in the correct sections as instructed. It's also important to note that there's going to be some sections that don't have an asterisk that are still mandatory. And that's because you may have to choose one of 3 options. So it doesn't provide you with an asterisk. You have to select one of 3, but still, if you don't do that, it'll still let you submit your bid, and you may get disqualified because you didn't perform that function. So you want to really read each section carefully and make sure you fill out everything they're asking you to fill out. So once you've successfully submitted your bid response, you've selected that submit entire response, and you've uploaded everything in the right spots, and you've filled in all the correct text boxes, you're gonna select that submit entire response, and then this little message will show up, and it'll say your response has been submitted. Thank you for participating in the event. If there's an error when trying to submit your bid, the system will notify you with a prompt in red at the top of the screen with a note flagged on the area in question. So that's just for those sections that have the asterisk there, because it will not let you, it won't let you submit a response without filling in those sections first. So to successfully submit your response, you'll need to return to these areas and answer the questions in the requested format. So you can see there's a little red asterisk to the right, and that attach a file link. That I tried to submit a response without attaching a file. So I would have to complete that function, and then I would select submit entire response, and it would let my response, it would submit it for me. Okay, so checking that you've successfully submitted your bid response. If you exit the event and then you log back in or re-enter it, and you've already submitted a response for that event, you're going to see a yellow bar towards the top indicating that you've submitted a response for this event. Thank you for participating. You can also look in the response history link that's found at the top left of the screen. You click onto that, it'll take you to this response history page. If you've completed a bid submission for the specific tender, you'll find a record here. Remember to click those done buttons to get back to the main dashboard. Okay, so addenda. If the province does issue an addendum to an opportunity to which you have accepted the prerequisites, you'll receive an email update that looks like this. You can select click here within the body of that email, and that'll prompt you to log into that event. So you enter your username and password, and it'll take you directly to the event, and you can see that an addendum was posted. So for this particular event that we're looking at, it has a little references link. You click onto that, and then you can upload the addendum in a PDF format. And this is an example of what an addendum document usually looks like for the province. So the addendum is going to outline the reason for the addendum, such as a change to a specification or other notifications or clarification details, etc. If the addendum is notifying you of a change to the solicitation document, the addendum will outline what has been changed, where the change can be found, and the solicitation document will be changed as specified in the addendum. So this is kind of a new function with the EBidding system. When we had paper tenders that people used to pick up in the office, we couldn't change those documents when we put out an addendum. So the addendum would form part of the solicitation document. That may still be the issue for some, or the way it is for some events, but sometimes the addendum is going to notify folks that the actual specification document has been changed if it's an electronic document. Okay, so revise response. So if you have already submitted your response, you can revise it before the time remaining in the opportunity expires. So once you submit your response, you're going to see that this little revise response button is available now. When you click that, it's going to say, are you sure? You select OK. You make your changes, and then you have to select that submit entire response again. So you can re-upload a document, you can fill in a text box with different information if those are the changes you want to make. But you have to make sure once you're finished your changes that you select the submit entire response button. Once again, say OK, and then you're going to say you're going to see this green box up at the top. It says your revised response has been submitted. Thank you for participating in the event. And you've got to do this before the time remaining expires. If you don't do this before the time remaining expires, the last submitted response will be submitted for evaluation. So you must reselect submit entire response after you complete your changes and prior to the event expiry for your changes to take effect. So remember, when submitting a bid, it's very important to read the solicitation document and to follow the instructions as they are stated in the document and within the sections of the event, and to use that compose message option available to you if you need clarification about what is being asked before the time remaining expires, and before any kind of instructions that say that they will only accept questions up to a certain date. Okay, so now the last thing I'm going to do is kind of go through from top to bottom how to submit a response for a current tender that's live right now, and it does have to do with the Sydney project. So this event is designed for bidders to provide their responses using a combination of functions such as attachments, checkboxes, and text boxes, which are set up for answers to be typed directly into the spaces provided within the event. So this event is going to clearly indicate how you have to respond. So I'm going to start right at our homepage, go to current tenders. That's going to take me to the tender notices page. I typed in the DOC number, and then I pressed enter, and I can see that that opportunity is listed at the bottom. I select that DOC number, the link. That link will take me to that opportunity's tender details page. Within the tender details page, I select the Ariba Discovery link here, which is going to take me to the supplier research posting page. So in this Ariba Discovery page, I select this yellow respond to posting, and I enter my login information. Once I've entered my login information, I'm taken to that opportunity's event details page. So before we can access checklist 3, submit response, we need to select checklist item number 2, review and accept prerequisites. That's going to take us right to the prerequisites page. I select I accept the terms of this agreement, okay, and then okay again, and that's going to open up checklist item number 3, submit response. Okay, this is the screen you need to be able to access to be able to participate in providing your bid response and finalize the bid submission for your bid. Okay, so now we're going to look at the event contents. There's 7 event contents in this opportunity. The event contents 1 is the addendum section, and this event currently has 4 addenda posted. So you can download each of the addendum, each addenda by selecting the links provided in this section. The addendum documents will be downloaded into a PDF format. You can also see to the right for this opportunity, there is a box called unspecified. You must select this box and select yes from the drop-down list to confirm receipt of the addenda as part of your bid response. So the next event content is event contents number 2, which is the RFC Northside Health Center Trade Package 1 Early Site Works. Select the document link right there in that section, or that event contents page, to download the specifications in a PDF format. This is the title page. This is the screenshot shows the title page, and here's the list of contents. And this is a 400-page document, so it's quite a large document, but it has all the technical specifications in a PDF document available for you to download. In event contents 3, Appendix A1 bid form, instructions are provided which explain to attach the Appendix A1 bid form in this section. You've got to use the attach a file link to the right to upload your completed form. In event contents 4, bid security, bidders must provide a bid security with their bid in the form of an electronic bid bond. Use the attach a file link to the right to complete that function. In event contents 5, bid form, bid pricing must be provided in the text box to the right. So you would type your price in the text box to the right, and there's going to be instructions on the body, within the body of that page, that explain what that means when your price includes all of the following. So you include that price in that text box. In event contents 6, bidder information, you would type your company information in the text boxes provided as instructed. In event content 7, bidder signature, by typing into these sections, there's a language there that explains that this is if you type your company name and your information in those boxes, that you're providing your signature, and that's you have to do that within those text boxes. So once the response is complete, you've uploaded all the documents, you've filled in all of the text boxes, you want to submit your response, you would select the Submit Entire Response button, and then it would then you'd select OK, and it would show you that there was a green box towards the top with a message indicating that you have successfully submitted your bid response. So that was a kind of recap about how, what it might look like when you go into one of these events. Even if you don't participate, it's a good idea to select that review and accept prerequisites, because that'll give you an idea of the type of job that's happening and maybe some of the opportunities available to the smaller suppliers that are in the vicinity of this project. Okay. So important considerations, I always want to say it's so important to read those solicitation documents carefully and follow the instructions as they are stated in the document, and to use that compose message option if you need any kind of clarification. Support, again, this was all about how to navigate within the EBidding tool, and we can help out with those kinds of questions. If you contacted me, I can tell you over the phone. If you get stuck, I can explain how to navigate in the system one-on-one. But if it's a content related question, I'm going to send you to this event, to the actual event, and ask you to compose a message, because that's going to have to be answered by the procurement specialist running the event. I can't answer those questions. And for technical issues such as a browser issue, again, you've got to connect with the Ariba customer service folk, that phone number. So that takes care of all of the this presentation. Did want to recommend that you register to Ariba Discovery by going to their website. Also register for the Tender Opportunity Notification Service to get notified of opportunities. You can email us at that email address, and also the website is very important. So you can find the tenders, register for upcoming training sessions, and there's tons of guides and all sorts of things on our website. So that link there will take you to our main page of the Nova Scotia Tenders, Nova Scotia Procurement homepage. So that's it for me. If there are any questions.
Thank you very much for that. While we wait for a few questions, I do want to put up, just like the last session, I want to put up a poll that I'm hoping folks can enter into and give us a quick votability. This will help our future sessions as we go. This is the last of this particular series, but we are receiving information from everyone. We are receiving information of other topics that want to be covered in the future, so this will help as we go on those as well. So thank you very much for including whatever details you're able to in that feedback poll. So we do have a question here. Okay, this is a very understandable question. Will the slides for last week and this week be available to us? Absolutely. Thank you for the question, Bill. So last week's session, we did send out a summary email with the slides, but I can resend. If anyone did not receive them, please let me know or send me a message or an email, and I'll take a look and send that out to you. The slides and presentation from this session will also be shared. And Beth, can you remind me what else we're going to be sharing? I know you had mentioned there would be a manual or two that would be helpful. Yes, I did mention electronic bid bonding. So that's always a question that comes up, because it's not a straightforward process. So I wanted to kind of map that out. And I would have a guide available, a step-by-step guide available that people can use if they ever need to go through that process of getting an electronic bid bond together. The other is accessing the opportunity once it's closed. I have a guide on how to access a closed opportunity
so folks can understand how to do that. And anybody who wants to contact me personally, like I've answered my I can give my contact information, because sometimes navigating in the system can be less than intuitive. So folks can ask me questions anytime.
Absolutely. And summary email that we send around will include contacts for Beth, as well as our previous presenters with the provincial government and contractors on the projects in Cape Breton specifically. Absolutely. So a comment from Louise here, not so much a question, but a reminder that to remember that accessibility is important, and that it is not only building a wheelchair ramp or a large outdoors, but color contrast throughout the project, including clear markings for stairs, and etc. When providing work on some of these projects are all things to keep in mind from an accessibility standpoint. Thank you, Louise. Good reminder for those that do work on those things as well. Close that. Perfect. I'm not seeing any questions yet, but while we wait for any other questions to come in, thank you very much, everyone, for attending not only today, but our previous two sessions. We had circulated slides and recordings for the previous sessions, but if anyone wants, if anyone didn't receive them or needed access again, maybe the email got lost somewhere in the digital atmosphere, just let us know and we'll make sure that we get you a copy of that as well. Nothing else coming in here. Either Beth or Kimberly Murphy, who's also on the line with us, anything to add or any closing comments?
I guess for me, if any of this has prompted any kind of questions or anything at all, we're happy to provide more information sessions. We can create guides, we can answer questions. So reach out to us or reach out to you, and we can work together to provide information for folks so that they're informed. It's important to be informed. Even if you didn't participate in an opportunity, understanding what's being posted and registering and going through with those prerequisite functions, that's going to help you access documents and information, and that's all recommended that folks do that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll just echo those comments, Beth. I think it's really important just to take a look at the kinds of opportunities that the province is posting, along with getting familiar with what other public sector entities are posting as well. So.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Kimberly. Okay, great. Well, again, thank you very much, everyone. Really appreciate it. And we'll be reaching out in the next few days on the summary from this presentation. And when other opportunities come up, we will be reaching out to everyone that attended these sessions to give you first opportunities to register for other topics as they come up, and other offerings as well. So on behalf of the Cape Breton Partnership and the Province of Nova Scotia and our presenters, thank you very much for attending, and a special thanks to our presenters who took a lot of time to prepare these presentations and join us the last 3 weeks worth of Wednesday mornings.
Thanks very much, Jeremy. It's a pleasure.
Thanks again, everyone. Have a great day.
Great day. Bye.